Howl.
And hello and welcome to Ohana Hobby Workshop. You're joined by myself, Max, and we'll do something a bit different today. We are going to do a box open / review on the Kings of War starter set from the War in Holtz. So as you can see, straight off the back, it's actually quite a good size box. I'll turn it over. So this actually includes the rulebook, 44 goblins, 42 raccoon, and also 40. The rulebook has all the fractions in as well, so it all runs out of one book. And then you have a game start. What we're going to do is we are going to open this up, get some of the bits out, and we will go from there. And we've now got a load of bits out. We've got some different stuff, so we're going to go with this bit first. So obviously now I'll get started with it. So this, I'm assuming, let's see if my assumptions are right, we'll have a bit for building and stuff. Yeah. So we have a assembly guide, not for the actual miniatures, but it just gives you a general basic over. We also have our essentially, so essentially we have the reshaping process. That's actually quite good. You don't see many people actually do that. We just go through it and see painting. So it even comes with two guides as such. And essentially will give you a rough way of actually painting these guys. And then obviously go through background, a few extra bits. So here is that rulebook. So this is actually really good. The fact that you only need just one rulebook and it has everything you need in here. Rules, artifacts, scenarios, looking up. So another thing, this actually came in this bag. So it actually came in a bubble wrap bag. It's actually really good. Keeps the book and everything nice. It's easy to get all that to one side. So start looking at the miniatures. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at this one first. So straight off the back, really good how they prepped it. Got it all bubble wrapped, and then as you can see, it's baggied inside as well. So let's get a close look at these things. Let's actually have a nice look at them. So here is obviously one of the characters. Hopefully. So one of the characters, and you know what, that's really nice. The resin's really clean. There's not much work that needs to be done to it. So that's kind of cool. So that is so this is the Skaven person, I believe. Yes. So this is the Skaven character that you get. And this is your assembly Goblin Wizard. Just here. Also looking very good. Let's open the back and look closer up, make sure. It is a nice piece. So as you see, it comes with all the supports. The supports are well done. And there we go. Really cool. So that's something interesting to do. So let's put that in there. Put these back in the bag. But yeah, as I was saying, how they've actually packed this is really well. But it does go a bit so everything is individually bound. So obviously, we now have these. So this is one of the other miniatures out there. It's really kind of cool. So this is try to find the name for it in this book. So this is the Night Terran for the Skaven. So there is quite a lot of pieces here. But that's actually kind of cool because it gives you a spare head, so two different tiles heads, two different sets of arms, and this gives you a top part and some tools as well. But we'll get all that built up and then we'll show everyone as well. Then we obviously have our trolls. Looks like it, yeah. So we have some big boy trolls, very large. It's quite surprising how big these actually are. So yeah, so as you can see, head separate, arm separate. A little bit of cleaning up's going to need to do, but these actually are. So let's move this to one side. So one thing that I am really impressed about is how they've done this. So essentially, you have 40 ratskins, 40 warriors who ride the rats, 40 goblin warriors who are goblins, obviously. And they have it in these bags. So I've just like cut the side down slightly. So essentially, just look at the spruce. So as you can see, just from the background, they're going to be protected quite well. The plastic's really good quality as well. A little bend in the frame there, but that's nothing to worry about. But essentially, the actual sculpts look super clean. So that is another thing. The fact that they're clean sculpts, and it's going to be interesting to see how these go together. So that's one frame. So the other thing I did like, the fact that all the heads are on one frame, the bodies are on one frame, and then all the rest of it is just split between the two. So this is actually kind of cool. There is a little creature here. I think it's actually like a pup, a dog or something. Not quite sure. I think it's a dog. But we'll see what happens. We'll have a look at it more in detail. Then we're going to move on to the ramps as before. Same as that bag. So same thing. In a separate little bag. And this is actually kind of cool. Like the sculpts are really nice. They're pretty easy, pretty simple to get together. Nothing too strenuous. That's kind of good. Sort of thing you really want to look for, in some sense. And then we have a load of different heads. That's going to be really good. So what we'll do is we'll get a few of them built up, and then we will see how they look on a agenda. So we have a few of the miniatures actually assembled. So we went through, done a gobbo. So actually, they're really nice sculpts. There was a bit of cleaning though. As I was looking a bit more carefully at them, there was a bit of this. This is essentially one of the goblins. A good old Goblin Arch right there. You see, really nice sculpts. So this actually came with the goblins. It's like a little doggy sort of thing, like a wolf, bear. So they're going to be quite cool to paint up actually. Might use them as a novelty piece. And then obviously we have our good old Skaven. So the reason his other arm is off because when I actually go to put that on, it actually costs quite a bit of miniature. So we're actually going to keep it off and paint this separately all of these. But here's it, sculpts yet again. Absolutely amazing. So that's Skaven now. So what we are going to do, we're going to go to the resin ones now. So this is the Skaven character. So that's actually looking kind of cool. Really cool. The resin was super clean as well. There are obviously a tiny bit of gap right just where the arm connects to the body. But we've got to green stuff up. So that's that one. Now we're going to go to the Gobbo. So this is actually kind of cool. This is essentially a Goblin Mage. That is absolutely insane. Like just the whole thing about it is super cool. So there's that one. And then we've got this ring, so the Night Terror. This was actually kind of cool. Actually built really different. So I thought it was actually like a werewolfy sort of thing. But it actually goes with a Skaven kit, so that's kind of cool. It does come with a few extra little bits, so that's kind of cool as well. So I've got some spare parts. Now obviously we have our rolls. So obviously green stuff with this stuff. To fill in some extra little gaps. But one thing I did find is this is actually a plastic or like a PVC sort of stuff because I actually had to use hot water and bend the weapon back into shape. So there's that. And then obviously we have the weapon here that unfortunately I couldn't actually bend properly back into shape just for the pure fact there is a slight cut down the side. It's just a slight little break, but I'm not too worried about that because actually they're trolls. Their weapons aren't going to be straight. They're going to be a bit damaged and everything. So that's quite okay actually. And I think that's how it's meant to be. And then obviously we have this guy. So as you can see, there is some green stuff that will be needed on this just to reinforce and make sure it all goes back to normal. So it's all nice and done. Yeah, so that's the miniatures of there. So what we are going to do is, so if you did enjoy this, consider hitting that subscribe and like button. If you want to see them being painted, they will be on the Patreon. The links will be down in the description as always with our Discord and everything. But on that note, we will see you on another episode next time with Ohana Hobby Workshop.